Where the Ionian and Adriatic seas meet is a steep, rocky coastline, dotted with the remnants of ancient forts and towers that once defended these lands that have been coveted and fought over for millennia. Today the battles continue as the greatest aquabike riders on the planet descend on Castro for the Grand Prix of Italy, round 2 of the 2015 UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship. Castro hosted a rich international infusion as 56 riders from 15 countries fought for the Italian Grand Prix title in 4 categories: Ski Division GP1, Ski Ladies GP1, Freestyle, and Runabout GP1. The local organizers welcome competitors and teams with a reception and tour of the panoramic Castro Citadel. Located on the heel of the Italian peninsula, Castro is a small seaside town in Apulia, a region that offers pristine blue flag winning waters, abundant seafood, and a tranquil and easygoing way of life. Castro is unique in terms of the rich layers of history that it encapsulates. The home of the ancient Messabians, Castro has always been a crossroads for peoples, cultures, and empires, with modern-day archaeologists discovering daily new finds and influences from over 3,000 years. In Castro's citadel, you can see the gates of an ancient acropolis, the walls of a Spanish medieval castle, and a beautiful modern-day cathedral, all within a few meters of each other. The geographic splendors of the area are equally breathtaking, featuring incredible, time-worn grottos and caves. The circuit in Castro features the usual parallel tracks in the alternate course and a lot of tight turns, making it a tough one to pass on. But the waters here can be very rough, with big swells and high winds along a rocky coastline, making this particularly intimidating.
Like we can see, its condition very weird, very special. It changes every time. 10 minutes later it's big wave, after it's little bit flat.
So the engine is not so important. The pilot is, and the technical is important. So today we see who is the best technical or not.
These are my favorite conditions. Everything that makes the race interesting and makes more the rider deciding who's going to finish the race first is the thing I love.
Ski Division GP1, 21 riders were competing in a star-packed field, including 2-time world champion Michael Prix.
Qatar was my comeback from injury, so it was the first time on my boat since 8 months, maybe more. So today it will be better. In this condition, it's not about the engine, it's all about arm and heart, and you have to be brave, and I like this.
Michael's brother, Jeremy Prix, a 3-time and defending world champion, is always the man to beat. But this year, he has some very stiff competition. Leading the world standings after his win in the Qatar Grand Prix in round 1 is Nacho Armillas of Spain. He's shown he can beat Jeremy Prix on more than one occasion. But the Prix and Armillas all have a new big name in their midst, Kevin Reiterer of Austria, fresh off a European title win. Jeremy Prix has pole position, and the race begins in very rough waters. The field makes its way to the first hole shot, And Jeremy Prix takes a big fall as he's swallowed up by those waves, giving Michael Prix the lead. Number 64, Enrique Goncalves of Portugal, hits trouble, but he continues the race. In the lead, Michael Prix finds the going extremely tough, but if anyone knows how to deal with the conditions, it's him. Ryderer, who started at the back after changing engines, steadily made his way up the field. Young Norwegian talent Stian Shetline passes number 99 Alexander Barret to move into second position behind Michael Prix. Kevin Ryderer also overhauls Barret to move into third. Ryderer then sets his sights on Shetline and he overtakes him to move into second position. But in the lead, Michael Prix looks strong as the heat goes into the final lap. Ryderer tries to close that gap with Michael Prix, but Prix holds on, making no mistakes all race, and that gives him the win. Great result for the two-time world champion. Ryderer puts in a superb performance to start from the back and finish runner-up. In third place, Alexander Barret, finishing just ahead of Morgan Prix in fourth, with Alberto Monti fifth and Jeremy Prix sixth.
It was nice, very funny on the water, lot of emotion. It was a long time. I'm not winning. 8 months I was in hospital. Now I'm a win. It's happy, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it was a hell of a ride out there. So much fun.
Conditions had much improved for Heat 2 the next day. Michael Prix at pole position with Ryderer right beside him. With calmer waters, the riders hit top speeds to the whole shot, Michael Prix getting there first ahead of Ryderer. The Austrian kept the pressure up on Michael Prix. Further back, Jeremy Prix had his sights set on Barret as the defending world champion tried to push for the top three. Coming out of the parallel track, Ryderer tries to catch up with Prix. Michael Prix fends the Austrian off, but for how long? Kevin Ryderer takes a big spill out there in lap 3. That could put a dent in his hopes for a win, but he quickly clambers back up and picks up where he left off. Within one lap, he's already breathing down Michael Prix's neck yet again, as the two fight for the Grand Prix title. In the parallel course, Jeremy Prix takes on Alexander Barret, with Prix coming out trumps as he moves into third position. Barret, relegated to fourth, now has Nacho Armias to worry about. The Spaniard moving fast up on Barret, eventually passing him in lap 7. Up in the lead, Ryderer and Michael Prix are neck and neck, but Michael Prix again manages to hold off the 22-year-old. There's barely a ski's length between the two as the laps wind down. And Kevin Ryderer does it. Kevin Ryderer takes the lead in lap 7. Michael Prix fought all race to hold him off, but this time Ryderer gets the advantage. Ryderer keeps the lead for the next 2 laps, getting his first win on the tour and earning him the Grand Prix of Italy title. Brothers Michael and Jeremy take second and third respectively, Nacho Armias fourth, Barret fifth, followed by Alberto Monti in sixth, and Thomas Kette finishing eighth.
I choose to take the slow horsepower ski for this moto, even though it wasn't that wavy. And yeah, I gave everything I got, and I get the most out of the ski, and it was a hell of a race. I love the fights, and especially those close ones. That's what makes jet ski worth it, and that's what I showed out there.
In the overall standings, Qatar Grand Prix winner Jeremy Prix maintains his lead ahead of Nacho Armias, but with Michael Prix now on even points with the Spaniard, and Ryderer up in fourth, 10 points behind Jeremy Prix. In the ski division ladies GP1, round 1 Qatar Grand Prix winner Sandra Fernandez is looking to consolidate her hold in Castro. Defending world champion Jennifer Menard is out to make up for a disappointing 4th place in Doha. And Estelle Perret, runner-up to Fernandez in Qatar, is looking for her first Grand Prix win. But it's a wide-open field of 9 riders with a lot of young talent joining in the fray, including a fleet of talented young Swedes. Eminelli Ortendal, Jonna Bergstrom, and her sister Sophie, the youngest rider on the tour at just 15 years of age. Joining the tour this year is European Championship winner Beatriz Cortinal of Portugal. Also in the mix is New Zealand veteran Kylie Elmers racing under a Russian license, and Marta Sorrentino. In the pole position for Heat 1, Jennifer Menard and Eminelli Ortendal posted the same fastest time, but Menard got pole due to a faster second lap time. Unable to start the race was Sandra Fernandez, a bitter blow to the Spaniard. The riders lined up, and the race was on. First to the whole shot was Jennifer Menard, with Eminelli Ortendal behind her. But rough seas are not Menard's forte, as she was overhauled by Ortendal, but Menard kept up the fight, going neck and neck with the young Swede. By the second lap, Menard had dropped to 3rd as Estelle Perret moved up to 2nd and gave chase to Ortendal. A black flag to young Sophie Borgstrom for missing a boy. Estelle Perret was putting in a solid performance, but Jonna Borgstrom was having all sorts of problems out there, taking a tumble before continuing at the back of the field. Meanwhile, Kylie Elmers in 4th gave chase to Jennifer Menard, who was struggling on the circuit, and the defending world champ was bumped down to 4th in lap 4. Meanwhile, Marta Sorrentino in 6th as Ortendal leads the field through the last lap. But a late last lap surge by Estelle Perret sees her go head-to-head with Ortendal, and Perret has it. What a move! Estelle Perret nabs the lead after Ortendal had led all race. A cruel blow to the young Swede. The conditions were just too difficult for her. And it's a memorable win for Estelle Perret, winning her 3rd ever heat and adding a 2nd Perret victory to her brother Michael's win in the men's ski. I started 3rd behind Jennifer, but I clawed my way up and managed to take the lead in the last lap. I'm really very happy. It's a great win. The next day, bad news for Estelle Perret, who had to change her ski, meaning she had to start last. Heat 2 begins, Eminelli Ortendal in pole, heading the field to the first hole shot. Jennifer Menard right beside her, with Beatriz Cortinal moving up on the outside in 3rd. Menard falls back as Ortendal opens her lead early, and Cortinal moves into 2nd position. Kylie Elmers is 4th behind Menard, with Jonna Borgstrom struggling once again at the back. Italian Marta Sorrentino putting in a good race, holding on to 5th position. Sandra Fernandez was able to get started for Heat 2, but she lags behind in 6th position. Up in the lead, Eminelli Ortendal is flying out there and holding on to that lead for dear life, knowing she's on her way to a Grand Prix win if she can just hang in there. The final lap, Beatriz Cortinal chasing Ortendal. The final few boys, Cortinal makes a last gasp surge to try and take the lead, but she stumbles, and Ortendal survives the challenge. And Ortendal wins Heat 2 and the Grand Prix of Italy. There are the results. Ortendal with a memorable win ahead of Cortinal and Menard. Elmers nabs 4th. Estelle Perret's 5th isn't enough, as she has to settle for Grand Prix runner-up.
It was so exhausting. I was so tired, but I managed to get first, and I'm so happy.
That catapults Ortendal to 1st place in the world standings after round 2, 9 points ahead of Estelle Perret, with Menard in 3rd on 57 points. In the evening, the freestylers put on a great show for the spectators, which segued into a night of fun and partying. In the freestyle, the undisputed kings are the Floriancic brothers, Rock and Nas, both former world champions, with Nas currently leading the world standings after a surprise win in Qatar. They're joined by Italian veteran from Rome, Roberto Mariani, and another Italian, Alberto Camerlengo. A newcomer to this level of competition, Alberto Camerlengo gave it a shot in his first time on the tour. Roberto Mariani, a multiple European and Italian champion, gave a strong showing over the 2 days of competition, holding the Italian flag high with a well-executed series of tricks and unique routines that won the crowd's hearts. Nas Floriancic, the 2012 world champion, has been adding to his repertoire, and he kicked things off with a 360, followed by a 5 backflip series, topping it all off with a no-hands 360 and yet more backflip and barrel roll series in an action-packed 2 heats. The crowds loved it. All eyes were again on the immaculate defending world champion Rock Floriancic, who went out to impress. And impress he did, with an excellent routine of backflip, barrel roll, 360 and 520 combos, which won him Heat 1 ahead of his brother Nas. But in Heat 2, it was a win for Nas Floriancic, who once again produced a stunning upset to beat his brother Rock for his second Grand Prix title in a row, opening a 4-point lead in the world standings. Mariani came in third to wild exuberance as the Italian flag flew on the podium.
I didn't expect the win, and I was really happy when I heard that I won. So I want to beat him again.
I feel good. I'm very happy for my brother that my brother won, and we already think he has new strategy because yesterday he broke his bike, and then he used my bike to win, to beat me. So, but congratulations.
The Blue Ribbon event, the MotoGP on water, runabout GP1. It's a talent-packed field of 22 riders featuring the likes of French regulars, defending world champion Teddy Pons, former world champion Francois Midori, last year's world runner-up Jeremy Perez, and fresh off an impressive Carajet win, Jean-Baptiste Botti. But the best of France are up against some serious Middle Eastern riders. 2013 world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait is always a threat, as is the talented Khalifa Bel Salah of the UAE. Also at Castro is a formidable Qatari contingent, with Mohammed Al Haidous and round 1 Qatar GP winner and current world standings leader Tamer Al Darwish.
Got first place in Doha, Qatar, and now we're here in Castro, Italy, and I'm in first position, and I hope to keep that going and hopefully keep moving on and maintain that position and take the title. That's my dream.
Heat 1 is about to get underway. The race begins. Jean-Baptiste Botti has pole position with Khalifa Bel Salah and Yusuf Al Abdulrazak to his right as the 3 riders take command early on. Khalifa Bel Salah shoots ahead into the lead. Behind him, Botti and Al Abdulrazak give chase to the Emirati. Jeremy Perez is back in 7th position. A battle further back between Christophe Concourier and Christian Domanski of Poland. Up in the lead, Bel Salah and Botti enter the parallel track. Botti comes out in front. Botti takes the lead from Bel Salah in lap 3. Standings leader Tamer Al Darwish is in 4th position. Botti takes the black penalty boy on almost every lap, but he has a comfortable enough lead over Bel Salah. Al Abdul Razak is in third behind them, the Kuwaiti trying to make up ground. Bel Salah's hood goes flying off. The rough conditions are causing havoc out there. Huge fall from Ugo Fidlen. That's a red flag. The race is stopped.
So today we had the unfortunate event of two simultaneous accidents. So all the safety jets were busy, and unfortunately for that we had to stop the race.
Bruno Secchiaroli hit some rocks. Midori had a busted knee, and Fidlen had a hip injury and was taken to hospital. With 2/3 of the race completed, Botti finished first. But after a protest from Bel Salah about cutting the course, Botti was disqualified, which gave the race win to Bel Salah, with Al Abdul Razak runner-up and Al Darwish third.
Yeah, forgive me guys, I can't talk properly because my tongue is hurt from the race. Anyways, the hood came off and it smashed my jaw, and I injured my tongue, and even here if you guys can see. The race was hard, the conditions was really tough, but we really hope everyone is fine and we have a good race in Moto2.
Heat 2 the next day saw much milder conditions, with Midori braving it despite his injury. A determined-looking Botti starts in last and will have to claw his way back up the field, with Bel Salah on pole position for the start. Heat 2 begins. Bel Salah leads the field to the first hole shot, with Al Abdul Razak beside him and Pons fourth on the outside. A trio of riders go head-to-head there, Wisniewski, Al-Haydous, and Chabert. In a battle for third, Teddy Pons takes on Tamer Al-Darwish. Bel Salah in the lead, trying to extend his gap over the others. Al-Darwish has passed Teddy Pons to move up a spot. Botti incredibly finishes lap 1 in 6th place and continues his rise up the field by passing Midori to move into 5th position. By lap 3, he powers past Pons and Al Darwish to take 3rd, setting his sights on Al Abdul Razak. Botti riding like a man with a mission. Further back, a battle between former world number 3 Lorenzo Benaglia of Italy and Jeremy Perez, with Perez passing Benaglia to move into 7th. Botti is moving up on Al Abdul Razak. Botti has it, bumping the Kuwaiti back to 3rd. Just one more to go. Bel Salah will be feeling the pressure now as they enter the parallel course. Coming out of the parallel course, Botti is right up there with him, and he takes it. Botti nabs the lead from Bel Salah, taunting him as well. Botti is fired up after having been DQ'd in Heat 1, and he's out to make a point in Heat 2. In lap 9, Didier Chabert passes Francois Midori, who's racing despite his injured knee. In 4th spot, Teddy Pons trying to push into the top 3. Behind him, Jeremy Perez has moved up into 5th, with Tamer Al-Darwish back in 6th. Coming out of the parallel course in lap 14, Perez overhauls Pons to move into 4th. Meanwhile, Al Abdul Razak finds the speed to get past Bel Salah and moves into 2nd position as the race enters the final lap. But in the lead, Botti wonders where everybody is. What a victory for the Corsican rider. The results, a convincing victory for Botti, Al Abdul Razak 2nd, Bel Salah 3rd. Then Jeremy Perez 4th ahead of Pons in 5th. But despite starting last, I was able to pass the entire field, and I came in first, way ahead of the next rider, which is a good lesson, because to win by disqualification is easy, but to win on the water is much harder.
It's just a moto he won, so what decides is the race. A smart rider will ride smartly till the end and win the race, not win the moto. We're not looking for Italy round or China round, it's the championship what matters. So I'm happy I got first today, and that's a big jump, and I hope I can keep it till the end of the season.
Bel Salah wins the Grand Prix by just 1 point over Al Abdul Razak, moving him up to the top of the world standings. That that brings to a close the Italian Grand Prix. See you in China for round 3 of the 2015 UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship.